We knew it was coming. We're going to be talking about our M1 finance portfolio now. Just earlier this week, we did a review of the year-to-date performance on the Robinhood portfolio. Now we'll be looking at the M1 finance portfolio naturally and seeing how this compares. Obviously, some good quality stuff going on here. So really like to see this, and I say we just go into it. So we're just going to talk about performance, and then obviously go as far as each position. We'll look at that cost basis and how much I'm up on the position. So I think that's important to look at. So in the last year, this is an odd look, obviously, but it's weird stuff. I don't know necessarily how you're going to explain this one away, but according to this thing, which doesn't quite make sense, but there we go. I fixed it. Yeah, I'll just say, who's calculating that? But overall, in terms of a money-weighted return, we're posting a 32.65% gain on the year for the last year. So pretty nice to see. That includes $430 in dividends. So one thing you may notice, this portfolio pays a little bit higher yield in terms of dividends as far as compared to the other portfolio, a little bit more in terms of dividends here than in the Robinhood portfolio. So the earned dividends a little bit higher in terms of yield, which is important, which also totes a market gain of $3,096 during the last year too, which is pretty darn nice. I mean, this is an $18,000 portfolio. We like to see that. All time, which again, this one started in 2018, so worth noting. We've had a good 2.5 year crack at this. It's July of 2018 is when this started. All time, up a money weighted 89.52%. Total earned dividends of $572 and a total market gain of $3,992. So you see in the last year alone, obviously we've made a lot of progress here, and we've been investing a lot heavier this last year than the first year of the portfolio. So you need to consider that. That's why we see a little bit more in terms of market gains. So worth mentioning. Now I think we can go into some of these slices. So obviously it's divided up. First, the biggest slice of all, obviously, is going to be the dividend slice. Now, this encompasses several stocks within it, so it's worth mentioning. We're first going to look at a little bit of Kohl's in my life. Kohl's is right now the largest in the dividend slice, mostly because of the recent market gain we've seen. Total return on a money-weighted perspective of 81.48%, or $243 up, as well as some nice dividends as well. This is just the last year. But obviously, we want to look all-time gain for this position because it's worth mentioning. All-time gain 92.06, $249 up. And, near $6 worth of dividends we've earned in this stock. And that's, prior to them cutting the dividend. And once it gets reinstated, we'll be pretty happy. Omega Healthcare, we look all-time up 69% all-time on this one, which includes $83 in terms of market gain and $37 in dividends. Very high yield on this one, so that's pretty exciting. You see a lot of that percentage gain comes from dividends, and you like to see that. You really do. In a portfolio that's kind of focused on, that's right, dividends. Welltower. Welltower here, pretty nice. I think it's obviously worth mentioning, and I didn't mention, my bad, my Kohl's stake, as you need to mention. It's important. 18.35 shares in terms of that. Average cost of $25.37. On Omega Healthcare, OHI, I have 15.75 shares at an average cost of $32.50. Pretty important. Welltower, up 24.4%, $26 in market gain, and nearly $20 in dividends. 7.84 shares at an average cost of $62.53. So good to see we're positive on that. Iron Mountain, Definitely another one in the portfolio with my Robinhood. 15.4% total gain, and that's entirely because the dividends. Market gain is actually a market loss right now of $11. So I'm down on the position. Earned dividends of $44.52. So we've got 17.4 shares at an average cost of $29.55. After them is Brookfield Renewable Partners, up 161% on this one. Pretty wild stuff. Market gain of $171 and $20 in dividends as well. We've got 12.8 shares at $26.12 per share. Good stuff. Gladstone Capital, up 54.85, which includes $51 in market gain and $40 in dividends. Pretty cool. 55.5 shares. Really good dividend on this one at an average cost of $8.15. Then we have NRZ. NRZ right now up 36.7, which includes a market gain of $78 even and $21 in earned dividends all time. Pretty nice. 48.4 shares at $8.42 per share. Recent dividend hike, pretty exciting as well. We're getting back to normal, boys. Realty income. This is one where I'm down on the market gain too as well, but overall up 4.4%. Dividend saves me there. Market gain of market loss really of $10 and earned dividends of $18. 7.9 shares at $62.21. AT&T in here as well in the dividend section. Pretty bad position just due to the market gain on this one, down 5.9% all time, with a market loss of $34.74. $24 in earned dividends doesn't quite make up for it, so we're negative on this position. 15.62 shares at $31.84 a share. Ford, it's turned positive, thankfully. This is the enjoyment of dollar cost averaging, up 58% or $74 in market gain, $6.82 in dividends. I'd like to see that go up when they reinstate the dividend next year, obviously. 50.3 shares at $7.61 a share. I like that personally in terms of rate there. I like that. Southerly Hotels, SOHO, up 9.07, which is a market gain of $11.57 and $8 in dividends. 157.65 shares in this at an average cost of $281. Definitely one of my riskier positions, but I'm glad it's paying out for me right now. There's Kimco, up 42.13%, up $32 in market gain and an earned dividends of $14 as well. 24.2 shares at $13.72 a share. We have Prospect Capital in this one as well, which is up 20.02%, but a market loss of $13.53, but overall earned dividends of $42.57 is nice. 62 shares at $5.75. Then Orchid Island up as well. Lucky on this one. This one's been performing pretty well. 45% up all time. $27 market gain and nearly $30 in earned dividends. 41.1 shares at $4.72 per share. Pretty nice. So that's the dividend sector of this portfolio. Pretty nice. We can get into the main positions now. Some of the big boys, okay? Apple Dapple, baby. So Apple, we're up 300% in a money-weighted perspective, up $921. And an earned dividends of $15 is pretty nice as well. 12 shares at a cost basis of $52.99. We like that. Facebook, also on here. Facebook up 113%, no earned dividends, but entirely just a market gain of $489. Is pretty solid. 5.4 shares at $185.17. I like seeing that. Disney, performing pretty darn well. 191% up, and that's because of a market gain of $337.98 and earned dividends of $225. Again, that's because the dividend was cut, so don't expect much in that category. 5.6 shares at $113.88 per share. Still like that position big time. Then we have Microsoft up 36%, money weighted. Market gain of $258 and earned dividends of $9.16. 3.87 shares at $152.71 a share. NVDA, incredible performance on this one. 407% in terms of money weighted return, up $392 in market gain and $1.09 in dividends. Nothing significant there, but 1.3 shares at $243.20. That's good to see. IBM, a really new position for me, up 11.8% so far. Market gain of $38.43. Earned dividends of $3.19. 3.9 shares at $115.80 per share. Then we have just a SPHD here, nothing crazy. 12.45 shares of this at $37.09. Total market gain of $11.39 and earned dividends of $17.73. Then we have Arbor Realty Trust. Didn't put this one just because of an administrative error, really. I didn't have it in the dividend sector, but up 221 here. 221%, $168 and $38 in dividends is real nice. 28.8 shares at $8.88. Really good stuff there. Qualcomm after that, up 553%, incredible gain here, with a market gain of 186 and earned dividends of 582. 2.6 shares at $77.30. Apple Hospitality, meant to put this in the dividends sector as well, but administrative errors early on when I was building this portfolio. Whoopsies. Market gain, total percentage gain of 23.8, market gain of $25. Earned dividends of 13.5. Not paying a dividend right now, but it will eventually. Again, 28.3 shares at $12.81. Good to see that. Then we have Apollo Commercial Real Estate, ARI, up 41%, which is a market gain of $16.85, and earned dividends of $36. 31.3 shares at $11.16. Main Street Capital, up 69% on this one. Market gain of $57.69. They're everywhere. Earned dividends of $28. 11.5 shares at $10.55 per share. Bank of America, not much going on here. Return of 10%. Market gain of $15.16. $7.19 in terms of dividends, and 11.7 shares at $275.55. Amazon after this, quality stuff. Obviously no dividends, but a market gain here of $126, which is the equivalent of 69%. 0.1 shares, nothing crazy, and an average share price of $2,050. Intel sitting up 7.4%, market gain of $1.13, nothing crazy. Earned dividends of $7.48, kind of carrying the position. 6.5 shares at $50.56. SPY, everyone knows, little ETF here. Quality stuff of 55%. $58 in market gain, $6.55 in dividends, 0.89 shares, average cost of $3.08. Pretty cool. Then we have Google, Alphabet, up 80%, all market gain, $117.55. 0.19 shares at $1,203 a share. PepsiCo, up 41%. Market gain of $27.52 and earned dividends of $8.31. 2.2 shares, $133.60 per share. Nothing too crazy. We have Pfizer, been a decent performer for us. 15.47%. Market gain of $26.55. Earned dividends of $7.27. 8.28 shares at $33.55. And we have Lowe's. Lowe's up 154%. Nice. Market gain of $68.75. $2.87 in earned dividends. 1.08 shares at $100 per share. Public Storage up 44%. Market gain of $18.84 and earned dividends of $6.30. Pretty nice. 0.72 shares at $206.76. And we'll wrap it up with Royal Bank of Canada, RBC, at up 53%. Market gain of $20.96. Earned dividends of $8.34. 1.98 shares at 71.51. So nothing crazy here on these smaller ones, but overall you see the portfolio is doing super well. Really happy to see it. Hope you enjoyed this one and you have a good day.